Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces. All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There. You're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Emily.
You look tired, Father.
Every year, I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No. Someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsay says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsay? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece, hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Euhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector, how naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What?
Sword can't still my heart. You in cold marble.
No!
Corvo Atano, how handsome you are for a man of your age. And how long had you hidden the mark of the outsider? I expect it's a wonderful story.
I'll lock him in the Empress's chambers, and then I'll bring him to Coldridge Prison until his trial. My father lost it all. Sent me to the City Watch, one step above begging. Think I had to take your orders? Corvo Atano, son of a Zirconan tradesman.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lord Corvo, what happened?
It'll be all Captain Mayhew. Oh! So that's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half? There's a legend in the City Watch. The Empress's last resort, the safe room inside your daughter's chambers, is holding enough gold to buy an island. And they say this is one of the only two keys.
What happened? Alexei, the throne room, Emily. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here. Dunwall always has a way of turning sour, just as soon as you get comfortable. Delilah took away the mark of the out.
Is Lady Emily all
There's a
right?
coup underway. Emily she's imprisoned for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Maybe through Emily's safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for you. Get away and help Emily.
I'm sorry, Captain Mayhew. Goodbye.
Throne room blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the King and Queen of Morley, did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, the cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain. Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's anyone else's fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
Why can't I wear my regular clothes?
nothing will stop me from bringing you home, Emily. Early retirement, Captain. Anton Sokolov made this lock. Emily would fall asleep in here after the plague. I suspect the Crown Killer is connected to Delilah's coup. Out into the world once more. How many people had forgotten this mask? The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here. Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks. I used to listen while Emily and her governess Callista read from this book. I'm glad she wasn't here to see Emily driven out of Dunwall Tower. I've got to get out of Dunwall. Traitorous dog. I need to find a ship.
Listen up, I have bad news. Ramsey's dead. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Corvo has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find him. That's it. We've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkino, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now. Isn't it laundry day yet? Gotta be soon. I can't.
Kiela, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before the upcoming anniversary of Empress Jessamine's death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south, so arrangements must be made. Ta for now.
Special edition. Empress Delilah Caldwin, rightful heir to the throne, has taken power in Dunwall. The usurper, Emily Atano, and the murderous royal protector have been arrested.
Get out of here.
You have until tomorrow to print it.
I never should have listened to your rubbish.
Don't make a pig's ear of this, printer. I'm the one who gave you the scoop on the Crown Killer.
Half of which couldn't be verified. I must have been rat-assed out of my mind to use that name. There's no proof that the murderer has any connection to the Crown.
Well, it made a good story. served a purpose.
Whatever's going on, this coup, it won't last. The people of Bristol are loyal to the Empress, and I'm gonna publish an essay every day for a month to make sure they remember it.
The people of Bristol have a new Empress, and in the morning, they'll have to find a new printer, too.
Only adult would threaten the man who runs a newspaper.
Time to put you out of business, printer.
Help!
Traitorous dog.
Guards! Someone! Someone! Protect me! Help me! Someone! Anyone! I need assistance!
That man, part of the Duke's coup, I'm sure of it now. And I saw him talking to Captain Ramsey of the City Watch.
What's done is done, but I had nothing to do with the killings.
I know that. It was irresponsible of me to print the name Crown Killer. I allowed myself to be coerced. Forgive me.
Forgiveness isn't my specialty. Whatever happens next, lay low. But when the time comes, tell people the truth.
You can count on it. I won't ask you what your plans are, but for the sake of Dunwall and for the Empire itself, I hope you succeed.
Citizens of Dunwall, listen up. For the sake of your family, turn over all information concerning
city is
Emily
crawling.
Baldwin and Corvo Atano, wanted
Road
for
is
murder
blocked
and
by order
treason.
of the City Watch.
Locked? What am I supposed to do now?
Not my concern, citizen. I'd advise you to return to your home.
If I can't get through, that's it for my shop. The entire month will be ruined.
Trust me, you don't want to be out on the streets right now. Move along.
Careful with that sword.
Business down here in Dunwall. That's all about to change.
Leave it to the Hatter gang to try to profit from the chaos of this coup.
Whatever the royals are fighting about, can't make it easier for them. That's what I'm saying. We need a network of shops selling contraband, just like they've got down in Serconis. People are getting rich in Colero and Karnaca, even after paying the Grand Guard to look the other way.
So we set up some black market shops, pass along whatever we score, and we run security for the shopkeepers.
Right, and we take a cut on the sales. I'm telling you, the wind is blowing in our favor for once.
So, Lord Atano, you want to hear what I've got to say. I guarantee it. Lord Protector, forgive me for saying it, but you look like death warmed over.
It's been an unusual day. There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders.
My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov. We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you.
I know, Anton. The Duke's here with a woman named Delilah who's seized the throne. They have Emily, and I barely got out. For now, I have to get away, recover my footing.
Bad things always seem to happen in Dunwall. Feels like the end of the world.
I need to get to Karnaca, where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
The dreadful whale will get you there. Should we go?
Let's go. Something's not right, but it seems familiar somehow. I remember this endless cold. Where are you? You might as well show yourself.
Corvo, old friend. Do I even have to say it? You've lost another Empress. I gave you my mark for a reason. I wanted to know what happens when you take an honorable man's life away. When you push his face down in the mud. What will he do, given the chance? And what a sight it was. You gave yourself over to blood and terror. Gave it everything you had. Then you spent 15 years making sure it wouldn't happen again. But now it has. And this time, you know where it leads. Will you do it all again? Where is that good man now?
I felt this so long ago. The void. It was still there all along. Never thought I'd be here again. Feels as good as I remember. Now I'm going to save my daughter and win back her throne.
Know you. Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Jessamine, if all I can hear are the last echoes of your voice, that's enough.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
Who is Delilah, really? Jessamine's sister, bearing the outsider's mark.
Delilah slit a man's throat for a pair of shoes and painted some of the most brilliant portraits of the age, all in the same year. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes sycophants of those around her. All of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game, and now she's an empress. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Just when you think you've got it all figured out, just as you're starting to relax, you look up and there are wolves at the gate. Wolves with red muzzles. Hungry for your insides. Everything has turned to shit. Last time I saw Karnaca, I was just 18. Boarding a ship bound for Dunwall. It was dawn and I'd been up all night dancing, 3 sheets to the wind. I was puffed up with the old Duke's favor. And I thought I was the greatest swordsman the Isles had ever known. In the 36 years since, I've buried countless enemies. Most deserved what they got, but I wonder if that even matters. I've stopped dozens of assassins, but the one who got through eats at my dreams. Who'd have thought I'd come home to Karnaca, the most wanted man in the Empire, following the trail of a monstrous killer? Who'd have thought I'd be on the run again, ready to wade through another river of blood?
must be cursed. You're up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know.
All right, you've explained part of it. What were you and Sokolov doing here?
The old man loved Karnaca, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn you.
There were reports about tensions rising. Corruption, street violence. It's the sort of thing that happens, and usually the local authorities resolve it.
The new Duke has let things slide. But Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy. He came in looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, the hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could, toward Addermeyer Institute. It's run by the alchemist Hypatia. Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Addermeyer was a solarium years ago. I'll get inside and eliminate the Crown Killer. Maybe the alchemist will cooperate, maybe she won't. Either way, I'll try to figure out what happened to Sokolov, too.
I would say good luck, but I don't think you want my luck. When you get done at the Institute, disable the watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring the boat around. We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're ready. Ready for me to drop you at the docks?
Ready. The old city must have changed a lot.
Off we go then.
One more time, old friend.
I'd take you to Addermeyer by boat, but security's too tight. The Grand Guard have a watchtower there. Go inland and use the carriage station. Before his death, the old Duke of Serkonos spent decades building up Karnaca. After Duke Luca Abel took over, he started draining the wealth out of the city as fast as he could. Orgies and week-long feasts.
I remember the old Duke Theodanis. He was a good man.
Watch yourself on the way to Addermeyer. The Duke's given the Grand Guard run of the city. Strangers get attacked on sight.
I can take care of myself.
This is a good spot. Reach Addermeyer, take out the Crown Killer, and find out where Sokolov was taken. The alchemist, Hypatia. She'll help if she can. Sokolov likes her.
I'll see you later at Addermeyer. Just wait to bring up the boat until after I've disabled the watchtower.
The jewel of the South, they say. That's what it looks.
And the imminent arrival of his great Luca Abel, Duke of
Hey. Oh, you're kind. Thank you. If you want to get past that wall of light, I've heard people sneaking through this blood-fly-infested apartment. Going through there will get you to the other side of that Grand Guard checkpoint. Let's hope you never need help.
I have something that might interest you. My name's Mindy Blanchard, and that mask tells me you're someone who goes into places where you don't belong. Want to help me with something? You scratch my ass, I'll scratch yours.
I need to get to Addermeyer Institute. Can you help?
Yeah, I know how to do that. You go get a body for me, and I'll help you with your problem. Don't worry, he's already dead.
You want me to bring you a corpse? What's the story there?
The overseers are holding him at their outpost. They think he was a kind of a witch. I want the body for reasons of my own. Sneak in and take it, then meet me in the old basement below the dentist office near there.
I'll consider it.
Gonna let a few blood flies stop us?
I'm in. Just remember to move slowly, and don't get too close to the nests.
We don't even know if the people inside had any money. We just know they're dead, and the place is
Infested, all right. We used to throw rocks at these nests when I was young. Just go slow and mind the distance. Easy.
This is our chance.
No. More likely we all get stung to death. Then we end up hatching more blood flies for the next group of idiots who try to get inside.
Damn it, Carl.
All right. Don't turn on each other. We'll find another way to make the coin. And another way to get past the wall of light.
I am being hunted by half the people in the Empire. Part of me welcomes the fight if they find me.
You gave me no choice.
Stench of the void. There's something perverse in this place.
I've seen cities go bad before. Smelled the rot. So have you. 15 years ago in Dunwall. Did you miss it? That year that made you who you are? Don't deny it. Rats in the cradle, black smoke rising from burning bodies, an entire city crying out. Now it's happening again. Welcome back. Welcome home. People like you and the Crown Killer are a part of places like this.
This heretic's body is important, even though I don't fully understand the situation. We'll wait for the Vice Overseer.
When should Byrne arrive?
He's engaged currently. He'll send someone else, maybe Overseer Kindana.
Hey, you got it. Put it down in the hole. Good job. Take this.
You said you had a trick for getting closer to Adamire.
I just sent one of my boys to turn off the power to the carriage rails. When the juice is off, you can walk along the rails and get where you need to go. On the other side, there's a station that will take you to Adamire.
All right then. This is goodbye.
Absent.
This must be the alchemist's apartment. Alexandria Hypatia.
Foreign interference in our affairs. Travel to distance is restricted to those carrying the appropriate permits, including citizens moving between home and...
Rats, blood flies. There's always some plague killing off the weak.
After the horrible failures of my first serum, I'm more determined than ever to help the miners. It's not my say how hard the Duke and his cronies drive the workers, but until he sees reason, I'll do what I can to make their lives better and to provide comfort to their families. It's my obsession, this work, and the impact it will have on the least privileged people in Karnaca. Studying the original plague elixirs, I'm close to something.
When I find Hypatia, I'll see what she knows about the Crown Killer. Addermeyer. My best chance for tracking down the Crown Killer. The place used to be a solarium for the idle rich where they flocked for rejuvenation treatments. It was founded just after the plague hollowed out Dunwall a decade and a half ago. Alexandria Hypatia is chief alchemist, and whether Anton Sokolov is still there or not, she's going to give me the answers I need.
Once they say something's amiss, then I just can't get comfortable.
I so enjoy watching history warp as words pass from the lips of one to the ears of another. Imperfectly formed, half understood, poorly remembered. In the years to come, the story of the Crown Killer will be twisted and bent, hammered like soft metal. By some accounts, a monster that had to be put down. By others, a victim of treachery, preserved because in the end, you found another way. But you'll always remember the truth, won't you? Your truth, at least.
Dreams have taken a turn towards the disturbing. Even rest eludes me. Duke Bell seemed overprotective at first, but increasingly, I'm a prisoner in my own lab. The soldiers stationed here leave me alone, but even then I feel like I'm being watched. What really saddens me is the loss of my work. I've always thrived on my connection to the people who need me the most. The workers and their families. Each time I hear there's been an outbreak of some fever or some new condition among the miners, it pains me that I am not with them, working to ease their suffering.
Are you a patient of mine? I'm sorry. I should know that.
I'm here to ask you about something.
Do you cover your face because you were hurt? The afflictions we treat here are more common than anyone likes to admit.
I'm not here for treatment. I'm looking for Anton Sokolov.
Sokolov? Yes, he was here for a short time, but she took him away to see Kirin Jindosh. Do you hear something?
What about the Crown Killer? A patient of yours?
The Crown Killer? That name came from the newspapers. I'm afraid I don't... Oh yes, the murders. I was in Dunwall, studying diseases found among whaling crews. Wait, did someone just call me? I've been forgetting things. The Crown Killer is an interesting case. I feel almost sure I could help with that. It's just... I used to do such good work, and now my memory is failing me. Who is that calling me? Excuse me. I've gotten something under my fingernails again. What was I working with? Iodine, perhaps? I didn't used to lose things like this. A disease of the memory, perhaps. A common affliction for the gifted. The Duke must see reason. I need more patience. There's so much I could do here. Like when Adamire first opened. Coming back to the Institute after my trip hasn't relaxed me as I thought it would. My sleep is disturbed. Something is terribly wrong. But I can't put my finger on it.
You did well finding Anton Sokolov, my friend. The old man is with Kirin Jindosh, who is prying him apart, digging out all his secrets,
She would
adding
say about
Sokolov's
this.
knowledge to his own. Who knows what wonders of natural philosophy Jindosh will reveal in future days. But
I can hear her whispering from down in a well.
We have need for your special talents. The good doctors do for a trip to Dunwall because Ichabod Boyle is next on the list.
Terrible killings. So much blood. So much meat.
To write about and give the people of the Empire fodder for their nightmares.
Why are you so damn timid? You little mouse. I would take hold of your tongue and pull it from your head if I could. Such a face I see in my dreams. As if someone has painted my portrait, twisted my expression. Why would anyone do that? Now there's an idea, an elixir.
She saves her love for the sooted workers suffocating deep down in the mines, for the children in hovels at the edge of the city, cursed with short, nasty lives, and for Vasco,
Days and nights. Blood-fly maggots worming around underneath.
Sister. I long to take him apart, to roll in the mess, rutting against his slippery skull, driving myself against his red fever. In time, good Vasco. In time.
Payment for all the throats you ripped open.
Why?
You're Hamilton? Why did they lock you up? You know something?
I swear, I know what I saw. Hooded. I just caught a glimpse. So much hate in the eyes. As if the world needed more of that. I'm not seeing things.
Yet. I don't like it. Ready now?
Yes. Let's head out for the dreadful whale.
You didn't find Sokolov?
No, but I killed Hypatia.
You what?
She was the crown killer. The Duke tricked her into injecting herself with a flawed version of her serum. It changed her. She wasn't even aware of it.
And Sokolov?
He's been moved to the home of a man named Kieran Jindosh.
The Duke's grand inventor. They say he's a genius.
They die like anyone else. I need Anton Sokolov, but he's missing. Held by another inventor named Kieran Jindosh, who no doubt wants whatever secrets Sokolov holds in his head. Jindosh is the mad inventor who brought clockwork killing machines to Karnaca. They say he's got the most brilliant mind in the Isles, and it may be true, but a smart man wouldn't be standing in my way. I've got to find out where Sokolov's being held and bring the old man back alive. Rescue one genius and kill the other before he creates an army of clockwork soldiers.
He's everything they say, even older. He's got an allure, too. Am I being dishonest? Everybody's got secrets, I guess. Maybe mine are worse than most. It's time to go get Sokolov.
Ramsey and the Crown Killer. 2 pieces of the puzzle. More to go.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get underway. Jindosh is important to the Duke's inner circle. The Grand Guard watches his mansion, harassing people who look like trouble.
You said there's a wall of light cutting off access to the carriage station.
Yes, but there's a black market shop nearby. They sell on the sly. Ever use a rewiring tool?
Yes, but it's been years.
Good. Get past the wall of light, then ride the carriage to where Jindosh lives. And there's a reason people are afraid of his mansion.
I'll see you after it's done.
Corvo, take care of this crazy man and his clockwork soldiers, then bring Sokolov back. He means a lot to me.
I'll tell you a story about Kieran Jindosh, the Duke's grand inventor. Once he was commissioned to make a toy for a 6-year Tivian noble girl. Jindosh worked for 3 months and built a machine composed of wood, brass, and the bones of several cats. It ran on a few drops of whale oil a day. The little girl was told she would have a special treat and she was perfectly delighted until the moment it was activated. She lives at an asylum up at Dabakfa now, and will until the end of her days.
Welcome. There's something familiar about you.
I've been away from Karnaca for a long time. I need a rewire tool, like the ones used by the Grand Guard. No questions. Clear?
Yes, sir. But I can't help you right now. I have people coming in, and I can't be responsible for their manners if you take my meaning. Paolo is coming by. See me later.
Understood.
You should go. We can do business another time. Like I said, Paolo is coming by. I think he's here. Hide yourself.
Lock it down. This won't take long.
Sleep tonight.
Make sure we have some privacy.
Eyes are burning.
For so long, I put this off.
He's gone. What happened?
What just happened?
Witchcraft. He's more than just a petty thug, isn't he?
Come in. I might have what...
See Jindosh's mansion from here. The carriage line is blocked. I'll have to unlock the gate. I've known people like Jindosh. Broken children who'd cut up cats to see how they worked. Jindosh, it's time to pay for what you've done, and maybe I can find Sokolov.
Welcome to my home, stranger. The door is always open to those with the will to pass the threshold. If you're here by appointment, then proceed and bide your time. Otherwise, I'd be remiss if I didn't inform you about the defensive mechanisms employed here, which are quite formidable. Many have entered without invitation, for reasons as myriad as the fish in the ocean. But of those who've dared to explore further, very few have found their way back out.
Who would build something like this? And why?
Someone's activated one of the mechanisms in my house.
Jindosh.
My home is always open. It's one of my great curiosities, seeing how the common mind navigates these shifting rules. I'm Kieran Jindosh, but you must know that. I challenge you to come find me. Take whatever you seek, but all along the way, and I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection. You're quite close now. I can't remember any other visitor getting so far. If your pride, anticipation. So many events in motion, each exerting subtle gravity. With Delilah, a new empire could be drawn, and all the old barriers broken. Much could be accomplished. My clockwork soldiers have played their part, but each costs more coin than a wealthy man sees in a lifetime. It could take years to find a solution on my own. But if Sokolov can be tamed, together we might refine the process, making new clockworks at a fraction of the cost. Whether I seduce my old teacher with the thrill of discovery, or whether I'm forced to apply the clamps to his flesh and turn on the voltage, no matter.
What kind of sadistic joke is this? There's another choice here, assuming Jindosh's electroshock machine works. Not sure I'd call it mercy. It's a long way down. Kieran Jindosh.
Create some detection without certainty.
Welcome to the final mystery, Jindosh. This must be the electroshock machine Jindosh mentioned.
Okay, the machine has detected something. The playback indicates a false positive.
Academy of Natural Philosophy. In your prime, the most sought-after painter in all the Empire.
Return to
my hero in younger days. Now, my puppet.
If you're going to use this inelegant-looking device against me, get on with it, Jindosh. Though I'm not sure what you hope to accomplish. I must admit to feeling a bit of professional curiosity as to the function of the apparatus.
Patience, friend, patience.
The sequence of events is important. You'll come to understand my electroshock machine, but when? Before or after that light leaves your eyes? And
The machine is experiencing uncertainty.
Who will tell me that?
Has anyone ever loved the sound of his own voice as much as you do, Kieran? Perhaps the device could tell us that.
No, sadly, it cannot. But what it can do is take from you the thing you love the most. Your precious intellect.
If you won't agree to collaborate on the next clockwork prototype, I'll use the device on that brain of yours, Sokolov.
I refuse. If I'm to be a drooling idiot, at least I won't be bothered by any more of your rambling theory.
General detection state. Something tripped the detection rig untooling.
Sokolov.
Standing by. Reconfiguration reported.
Corvo. It would have to be you. Perhaps Megan came for you in Dunwall. But Jindosh...
Already growing cold. Don't try to move.
Well, that's the Corvo I remember.
You did it. How is he?
Frail and wounded, but he'll recover.
I didn't think it was possible. You must have a story to tell. I'll hear it back at the ship.
All right. The void again, but it feels different.
Surprised I can pull you into this place? The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned Emily into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were close as sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Kaldwin had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
What's she playing at? Maybe how is the question.
gonna someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise.
During the day, Jessamine and I played games in the tower. But at night, I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good. Next year, I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled. My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep. I didn't break it.
Would you like to tell me what did?
We were just playing.
You have Lady Jessie. Who is here now?
It was her! Delilah's line. She broke it. I saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn. My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
Your sentence is served and you'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
How much of this is true, and how much is Delilah's warped imagination? When I saw what they'd done to Anton Sokolov, I wanted to hurt everyone who'd helped Delilah and the Duke of Serkonos pull off their coup. Sokolov is the man who made whale oil into a weapon, who turned back the plague, and now he's barely able to speak. The hands that painted the most powerful men and women of our time shake too badly to hold a spoon. When he does talk, he's going to give me a name, the next step along the way to Duke Luca Abel, then Delilah herself. A name. That's all I need.
I'm with you, even in the void. If only I could do more.
Jessamine, Delilah's stronger now.
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
All this is her doing, and she'll die for it.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
Jindosh wanted me to help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Corvo did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now. I'm glad.
Anton. You've had 3 days to rest. Tell me how to kill Delilah.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne, and she has Emily. Anton, once we had you in a cage and you dared us to kill you, I need that man back.
Corvo, she's right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Serkonos, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge that I saw things. Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
The curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous. As obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
There'll be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah. Which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing Ashworth from play. Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Megan. See you soon.
Welcome to my shop. Say, an acquaintance of mine is supposed to be holed up in an office overlooking the Royal Conservatory. Check on them if you're headed that way. I'd check myself, but the streets are locked down. I'd make it worth your time.
I'll think about it.
See anything you like?
Brianna Ashworth, curator of the Royal Conservatory. For a while, I've believed Ashworth has some connection to the occult in Karnaca. Something is happening that I don't understand. The Overseers are the forward face of the Abbey, but equally important are our sisters from the Oracular Order. To be direct, I suspect something is wrong within their sect. Subtle changes to the types of proclamations they've been making. Small, but troubling deviations from tradition. But publicly saying anything along those lines will get me accused of heresy by my rivals within the Abbey. Is it possible that Ashworth has infiltrated the Oracular Order?
So Vice Overseer Byrne thinks Ashworth is interfering with the Oracular Order. If true, it's another reason she has to be eliminated.
glance across this dying city. Brianna Ashworth would have been miserable as a member of high society, forced to wed some bloated banker. Her only moments of real freedom, getting drunk at fancy balls, and slipping away to couple with strangers. It would have ended in an unhappy marriage and a late-night plunge into an icy river. But just before Mother and Father married her off, so many years ago, she found Delilah instead. It was all highways and graveyards after that, never looking back. Vice Overseer Byrne is an ambitious man, but he believes in the Abbey's mission, protecting the good people of the Empire against the likes of us. You know he'd be happier deep down if this ended with Brianna Ashworth's head on a spike. Maybe yours as well.
Karnak is leaking. We tell ourselves we're keeping it together, but everyone is afraid of what will happen when we really fall apart.
Conservatory would complain. The place is mostly shut. Somebody's still inside. There's a delivery.
Ashworth is somewhere inside the Royal Conservatory. I need to find out how a sword through the heart wasn't enough to kill our new Empress, Delilah.
Poor Lucinda. She wanted to raise the blood briar, but cannot. After trying to make greyhounds for weeks, she gave up. You should have seen the twisted things she made. All snouts and teeth and tails.
That's just the way it is, dear Parmelia. Delilah wears the outsider's mark, and some of what she can do flows down to us.
That doesn't seem fair.
Think about working your fingers raw, weaving nets, or raising cows to slaughter. Any of the gifts we receive is better than living under the boot.
That's true and fine. A wise way to look at things. But it won't help Lucinda rise any higher in Delilah's favor.
I don't know, Delilah. Forgive me.
No, my dear. It's a loss. But I doubt he had anything more to give us.
Sokolov was taken away as well.
Who would want that ancient fool? Never mind. How goes the communion? I am hungry to whisper into the ears of the oracular sisters.
My influence grows. Last night, I walked through a dream with one of them, and we drank from a fountain in the town where she was born.
Vice Overseer Byrne's suspicions were right.
Business with Jindosh won't affect things.
No. He continued to take her with the lenses, thicker, thinner, more opaque. It was tiresome to watch. I still have the old lenses and cast-off parts piled in my workshop, but Jindosh finished some time ago. The rest is up to me, learning to use the machine. A tricky thing, touching the void through such a device.
Blood and biscuits. I look forward to using it myself once you're ready.
Will you visit soon?
Perhaps. Dunwall Tower is mostly in hand. The High Overseer won't be a problem anymore. And there's the matter of my own project. I grow more excited with each brushstroke. When I come to Karnaca, we'll drink an ocean of good wine and stay tight as a boiled owl.
I look forward to it.
For now, I need your eyes on the Duke. At least until we have the sisters under control. There's no one else I trust. I'll reach out to you again on the morrow. Farewell.
Goodbye, Delilah, my Empress. A corpse? What in the world?
These odd lenses might be linked to what Ashworth is working on. Now to activate it and sever Ashworth's connection to the void.
Do now? I'm ruined. That feeling. The things I could do. The touch of the void. Delilah. It was everything I had.
As if you could ever hide your face from me, Royal Protector. I see you there, back in the city that spawned you.
Brianna Ashworth is dead.
You murdering bastard! You had no right. You couldn't possibly understand what Brianna meant to me.
Just as I doubt you have any idea what I'd do to keep Emily from harm.
Perhaps I'll dig a hammer to her tonight and drop the pieces over the side of a ship halfway to Pandysia.
I'm going to end your reign soon, Delilah.
Your sword can't still my heart, but I welcome you to try.
I meant nothing to my fine family, beyond an advantageous marriage and years of childbearing. They promised me to a man 3 times my age who wheezed on about our wedding night. But a curious thing happened on the way to the altar, Delilah. From the first time I slipped out of the manor in the dead of night, there was no returning to my cage. Looking at the stars and drinking wine on a rooftop, I was free. Instead of seeing the overseers for marriage, I visited my father's banker and raced away from my old life toward Delilah. Those were the Coven's glory days. Delilah fell to the assassin Dowd. Her magic was lost, and the Coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order. The Overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
Come in. Welcome back. I see you found the prototype.
Your acquaintance didn't make it.
It is a risky line of work, I'm afraid, but let's not dwell. I expect you'll be interested in payment. First your finder's fee, of course, and if you like, I can draw up some schematics based on the prototype, something you can use to modify your tools. And as a token of my appreciation, a discount at the shop.
A fair deal.
Come in, my...
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Corvo, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
You live long enough, that happens.
Yeah. But what I did is worse than most. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit, which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now, but I felt like you should know. There are things I regret, Corvo.
Deception doesn't make for good allies, Foster.
Is that what you think, Royal Protector? You'll have to tell me all your secrets someday. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes, let's go. Take me back to the dreadful whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos and Delilah.
3 years ago, Delilah was laying her plans. The Duke's people gathered at the home of a mine baron named Aramis Stilton to commit some horror in her name. I need to know how they made her immortal. But where was I 3 years ago? Letting Emily daydream through council meetings, teaching her fencing and back-alley fighting. I always expected an enemy we could put down with a sword. Soldiers, spies, assassins. Instead, we got something else. Beyond the pale. Beyond the natural world. Instead, we got hit by someone like me.
Megan can take care of herself. Megan is out in the city, but I'll explain.
I need to know why Delilah can't be killed. Everything we've learned implies that something strange happened at Aramis Stilton's home 3 years ago, but then he disappeared.
Stilton lived in a bunker kept secure by a fancy lock made by Jindosh. Maybe inside you'll learn more about how to stop Delilah.
But I have to get there first, through a ruin created by the Duke, where I used to live.
Megan had an intriguing idea. Howlo is leader of the Howlers. He wants Vice Overseer Byrne killed, and of course, Byrne wants Paolo dead too. Both groups will attack you on sight, but walk in with the corpse of their chief enemy, and they'll treat you like family.
So that gives me at least one way into Aramis Stilton's house.
I'm pretty sure that will work.
Coming back here, seeing it changed, run into the ground. Some people have reached beyond others.
So the Royal Protector is headed into the Dust District. Corvo says he hasn't been back in a long time. I can't blame him for that. According to Sokolov, he'll be trying to get into Aramis Stilton's house. Not easy. I've tried. Stilton was a friend. Even as a mine owner, he was a good man who came up from working people and never forgot it. I went looking for him the night he disappeared. But the house was swarming with the Grand Guard. I showed them what I was worth, but it cost me. I'll live to see that score settled.
take Megan's skiff closer.
I didn't know Aramis Stilton. Who was he?
Loyal to the old Duke. Stilton helped build modern Karnaca with those silver mines. Worked his way up from nothing to a fortified mansion. But the new Duke spends money so fast, the mine crews work all day and all night. The district's in ruins. The dust drives out anyone except the most desperate.
The Duke of Serkonos has made a mess of things. His father was a good man.
True, but the new Duke's misery has only been possible with Dunwall's support. In any case, you'll have to pass through the Dust District. Maybe Stilton's still in there, or maybe he's dead. Find Megan once you reach the Dust District. She'll tell you more. I'll wait.
And the Howlers can't. Hello, Lord Protector. Stilton's home is just beyond here, but getting inside will take some effort. I've been doing reconnaissance, talking to people. The Overseers and the Howlers have divided up the district. Just ahead is neutral territory where no one will harass you. But further on, the Howlers and the Overseers both have boundaries set up. And beyond those points, they'll attack you on sight.
Aramis Stilton is the real goal. Sokolov said you'd worked out a plan.
Yes. I believe that if you take out Paolo or Vice Overseer Byrne, the other one will grant you safe passage, and will help you get inside Stilton's home. Neutralize either one of them, and bring him to the other.
Got anything else?
Byrne is protected by the Overseers. Paolo has the Howlers, but I think he's also got some kind of black magic charm. They say he's got to die twice before the sun sets, or he can't be killed. Good luck with that.
Jemmy's sister says you can beat any lock in the city. I'm not sure why Stilton's house needed to be shut.
From the mines falling on the city.
Never mind. Maybe another time.
Or not. Let's go.
You may not be aware that our silver mines are operating past full capacity in order to fund our conflict against the Northern Isle. That's not dust. It's the blood of our enemies.
Soon. The sisters are a molecular order. I've seen it, and I feel it in my bones. So this stalemate with the Howlers must be resolved. If we eliminate Paolo, there's no end to the influence we'll exert over Karnaca, over all of Serkonos.
Dozen Overseers have died trying to bring Paolo down. We've struck him fatal injuries, and somehow he comes back the next day to fight again. Whatever witchcraft he has, even the ancient music is ineffective.
I believe Paolo is in possession of some unclean artifact. It's my fear that he has to be killed twice in one day.
And the Duke won't help?
The Duke is no friend of ours. He exiled me from the Grand Palace, and he's done everything possible to push the Abbey of the Everyman out of Serkonos. The look on his face when he dismissed me from court. There's something wrong with people who live in palaces for too long.
This must be Paolo's place.
In case you're wondering, Paolo's not one of those unhinged cultists who believe I will grant them favors if they leave a big enough offering or play just the right musical notes. He doesn't care a fig for me. But he put up this shrine because he found the hand of an old witch I knew once. And Paolo saw right away that it pays to have an edge. Sometimes pieces of us linger long after we're gone. The Duke of Serkonos inherited a vibrant city and wasted no time stripping it to the bone. What will he leave behind? And what about you? Who will you leave to pick up the pieces here in the Jewel of the South?
Better working conditions and less dust in the streets, we'd be happy to up our payments.
There's a way to satisfy everybody. First, in this district, then the people work. The mines have more power than they.
Thank you,
What our friend looks like.
So long. I put this all.
It's no use. Next time.
What?
Huh?
Paolo had Granny Rag's hand. That's it. The information was good. Time is an odd thing. I left Karnaca decades ago, excited about all that Dunwall might hold. I remember falling in love with Jessamine, watching her crowned as Empress, Emily's birth, the rat plague, then Jessamine's death and another coronation. Now all this, back in the city where I was born. How many more lives do I have to take before it all ends? Stilton's home hides a mystery, but I'll tear it apart brick by brick to learn the secret of Delilah's immortality, as long as this ends watching her cough blood. Delilah might have pulled herself up from nothing, but I ran out of sympathy for tyrants and witches a long time ago. All I want is to put an end to Delilah and make sure Emily is safe. One more time. Definitely odd. Something just shifted.
I know you think I don't belong here. Inside.
Is that Stilton?
Put that thing away, will you? Grotesque. Yes, yes, I can see it. The others can't, can they? Yo?
Snap out of it,
warm
man.
the quilts, will you? I feel...
3 years ago, something inside Aramis Stilton snapped like a cheap lock. A part of him and a part of this house never left that evening. The Duke's inner circle are still gathered here, setting their grand plan into motion. Delilah's plan. And a part of Aramis Stilton is always here, still breaking. The Void is not exactly a place, and it's much older and stranger than you could ever know. It watches you from within. And at the heart of Stilton's house, the Void is leaking through a pinprick left behind by Delilah's little trick. Even magic is perverted here, and things don't work like they should. Take this. Imagine it's a kind of timepiece. Go and watch the Duke and Delilah. See for yourself what they did.
Like it's going to be cold tonight. We'll be getting started soon. The Duke's beloved is coming back. I've got to clean up. They'll all see I don't belong among the upper crust, the fine people.
By the Void.
Guests are waiting in the study. The Duke is demanding refreshments, and I can't get in without the combination.
There's a note on the door, Captain Winterball.
What? He's out back. I need the code to the study.
It's in his notebook, ma'am, but he keeps it with him.
Thank you, Corporal. Speaking bluntly, I really don't like Stilton's guests. Earlier, I got my ass chewed out by the Royal Curator. What's her name?
You're talking about Brianna Ashworth, I believe.
Yes, that's her. She's an odd one. Anyway, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Captain.
This place is cursed, cracked. I can feel the Void seeping in.
I dreamed the Duke and I were hunting, but the deer had base.
The only way out of here is through the present, using this timepiece.
There are whales down in the mines.
The Grand Guard was protecting Stilton back then.
Maybe it's a good thing. Beef stew dinner. Huh?
What would you think of all this, Theo? Your son is a disaster. But what can I do except serve him the best I can?
Everyone's gotta die, yeah, but...
When the Duke trusts me, I can finally rest easy. After tonight, it will all go well. Pressured me into it. I never would have agreed to this ritual, or whatever it is. Sometimes I wonder, is Luca Bell truly his father's son?
Run around, keep taking. Everything is not you and my problem solving.
I should never have agreed to host this event. What was I thinking? Tonight, I'll see Megan, and we'll laugh about all of this. She'll laugh that I was worried over nothing. Sometimes I think I'd rather be down below, working the rock.
This is to keep you from seeing whatever drove you into a nightmare tonight. That notebook contains Stilton's combination. What effect is knocking Stilton unconscious going to have on the present? No survivors is the surest way. With Stilton dead and getting cold, how will recent history be changed?
What's that noise? Who's that?
Things seem to be the worst here. The two times are overlapping somehow.
It's time to begin. Where's Stilton? I should never have kept him on just because he and my father were close.
What we're about to attempt has never been done. It's beyond my understanding, and certainly beyond yours. If anyone has any doubts, set them aside now.
This defies rational understanding. It's the frayed edge where natural philosophy crosses over into something else.
Yes, I can feel it. We risk madness.
All of you, Delilah is your rightful empress. You owe her this.
Delilah's stronger than before. The Duke and I have heard her voice, whispering to us. And now it's time. So take your positions. Focus on the void behind the world. You can feel her power, can't you?
By the stars. This is more exciting than any orgy I've ever attended. Do it now!
Here, returned from the cold, from forever.
She lives.
How curious. It seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now, inside this thing. Luca, you must lock it away.
I thought we'd lost you.
Brianna, Luca, I will never abandon you. Wait! You are hidden, but I know who you are. I know when you are. You've come to watch me return, and someday I'll come for you.
Focus on the void behind the world.
very edges of the void. But this one is special. It's the place where my throat was cut 4,000 years ago. This is where my life ended, and where it began again. It's where they made me.
This part of the void feels older.
Right up until the end, I thought I'd find a way to escape. I fought, but the ropes only cut my skin, so I went limp. And then the knife touched my throat, and I knew I'd waited too long. The blood ran out, and I became a god. Now you know Delilah's secret. At the end of her days, she drifted through the void and should have been lost forever. But her will and cunning are second to none. She found this place, the island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her, and she discovered a way to draw from it, tapping into the power here. Delilah is a part of me now, and I don't like it. You have to give Delilah credit. She tore out a piece of herself and hid it away, inside a thing made of bones. She's made herself immortal. If you want to kill Delilah, you're going to have to find her spirit and give it back to her. Reaching it won't be easy, but what comes after that might be the hardest thing you will ever have to do.
The world is full of secrets. All right, back to the skiff. Sokolov should be waiting.
It's like the Duke will keep taking, consuming until someone puts an end to it. With each...
You're back. That...
Are you ready to leave? The dust is wreaking havoc on my throat.
Yes, I paid a visit to Byrne and Paolo, and I've been to Aramis Stilton's house. We can go. Duke Luca Abel tore down the old palace in Karnaca and built himself a new one, a monument to his ego. Whether he knows it's coming or not, I'm here to exact vengeance for everything he's done to me, my family, and the place of my birth. I'm going to show him what happens to those who threaten the Empress. After tonight, the Duke will either be dead or deposed, depending on how this plays out. I've got to get inside, take care of the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
Can you feel it? This is my last night. Soon, I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You can't. I need you.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
Taken this long for someone to go after the Duke. Another aristocratic boss, living in a palace and sucking the marrow out of the same people who built it. Are you ready for this?
I've broken into palaces before. They're made to keep out armies. Stopping one man with a piece of sharp metal is another story altogether.
Killing off Duke Abel is only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine. The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
The Duke has pissed away any respect I might have had for his position. He's going to pay for his part in Delilah's coup.
going after the one who started it all. The Duke himself. I forgot the thrill of it. Planning drop-off points, and picking the approach. Thinking about the best ways to kill somebody who lives behind high walls. But with the excitement, there's a black echo that comes back to me for what I did at Dunwall Tower. If anyone deserves killing, though, it's Duke Luca Abel. I've loved a number of women, and even a couple of men. But I've never loved anyone like my Deirdre. After I left home, those first years on the streets, she's all that kept me from the bottom of the river. I could sleep on a pile of garbage under a leaky awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of brandy that we nicked during the day. The Duke and his little brother came through Dunwall. And Deirdre and I got in their way as they stepped out of their fancy coach. The Duke goaded his brother, calling us wharf roaches. And it was the brother who swung the stick that killed her. Splitting her skull, there were wooden gazelles on top of the coach. And I snapped one off and drove it into his eye, as deep as it would go. Deirdre was already gone. Dead as a doornail. Lying in the muck, staring up at the gray Dunwall sky. On the run after that. I was hunted by the City Watch and even members of the Grand Guard up from Zirconos. People looked at me like I was cursed, spitting whenever I got close. Everyone knew I'd bring trouble. Even the gangs. The Duke's brother has been dead for a long time. But now's my chance to get back at Luca Abel for setting him off against pretty, young Deirdre. Nothing was the same for me after they took her away.
Ready to visit the Duke?
Let's go.
At the palace, the Duke has a look-alike body double, meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job, pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
Why don't they just overthrow him?
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall. Toadies sucking up to Emily made me want to be back on the streets in Zirconos.
You're forgetting what that's like. I watched those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept. In the flooded district.
I know you struggled. After years at court, I'm a nobody again. But what I've seen here will stay with me when I return to Dunwall Tower. Being in Karnaca again has given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
on the boat.
No exceptions. Either you have the code, or I assume something's off. My boss's orders.
Open the store.
You know I won't do this. You're wasting time.
Anyway.
You're back at the heart of your homeland. A bigger, better palace than the one you sailed away from so long ago. Feeling nostalgic? Will you ever be comfortable in Dunwall again? Assuming you make it back. You've seen the suffering here, the decay, but, dear Corvo, would you even have lifted a finger if the Duke hadn't put Emily in harm's way? Be honest now. In any case, I know what you're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you better be ready to leave something behind.
Let's see what this says.
This whole setup is a huge pain in the ass. Timing windows that ignore the tides, fake boat manifests, and private door codes. Might be easier just to play it straight. Pick up and deliver goods. Anyway, so I don't forget it. The code for the black market shop is Zirconin wine is better than Tivian prisons. Idiots.
Zirconin wine is better than Tivian prisons.
And better Crystolian clap than Morellian gout. All right.
Side. The pay is better here than anywhere else, and we get to do the job how we see fit. Nobody's pestering us with forms and procedures anymore. Collect the fees we want, give out the beatings when they're needed.
Just don't want my kids growing up here. It's too dangerous.
There's another spirit here. Beyond its cage of flesh.
Get ready to feel pain, Your Eminence.
As long as it's not me, I don't care.
The machine has completed another full instruction set.
Of course, the Duke kept some of the clockwork soldiers for himself.
Everyone's gotta die, yeah, but please, not today.
Increasing oil tank temperature.
Someone's always claiming they've seen a masked assailant or some other rubbish. I say it's a false alarm.
1,000 rotations.
What would I decree if I had his power? Could I fix things in Kanaka? No one knows what's happening.
Bring
Could be
it on.
anything. Just
Whatever is
gotta watch my own
happening,
back.
I'm ready.
Sometimes a man just needs time by himself. My responsibilities weigh
I thought I
upon
heard blood flies for a second.
This whole business has me on pins and needles. Jumpy as anything. Being put up on the scale like some prize bull each week, told to gain a pound or two to keep up with the good Duke.
I've been alert. And he says, yeah, but this time I really mean it.
If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
Something's been moved. Never-ending paperwork. What's the point of being my father's son if I have to slave away like this? Nothing then. I'm always alert. Always. You don't gotta say it twice. Leave me. I want to be alone with my thoughts.
Parasite. This must be the key to the Duke's vault.
When I first met with my inner circle, I saw nervous faces. Even the boldest were afraid, wondering if we'd live to see another feast. Now Serconis is ascendant, but this is a story that began long years before. I knew Delilah when I was only a boy, and even after she was lost, dead, and gone from the world, her memory burned in my mind. Until finally I began to hear her whispering, calling to me from the void. Telling her story of growing up in Dunwall Tower and the half-sister who cheated her of her throne. Then she told me there was a way to bring her home. Delilah.
over, decoy. See what Duke of Bell keeps hidden away in here. Delilah Copperspoon. The Duke's vault.
When this plays, check central rotor.
This is the thing Ashworth made.
This is it. Release me from this dead vessel, free of this poison world, and trap Delilah's spirit.
I'll find another way.
No, I don't want to see any more of what this world has become. It has changed you.
I've done what I had to do. To preserve the Empire and to keep Emily safe.
She had such dreams, but I no longer care what you do. Save my daughter, and release me into nothing.
That it's done. Now it's time to return to Delilah's.
The heart of my half-sister? Only her flesh remains.
Wonder if it was even really alive. That should do it.
You survived the Grand Palace. So, is that it? The fall of Karnaca?
The Duke is dead. Long live whatever happens next.
Back to the dreadful whale, then, and on toward Dunwall.
It looks that way. To find a way to help Emily, and to give her back the throne.
Ready, then?
I'm ready if you are.
All right. As you want.
This is how the worst day of my life began. A masked man closing in on Dunwall Tower, planning a murder. Dowd and the Lord Regent killed Jessamine, but it broke them. Now it's happening again. Another Empress dies, another story ends. What will it do to me? Delilah won't go without a fight. She outfoxed me and I never saw it coming. But I was Corvo before I was the Royal Protector. Before I owned a sword, I fought with sticks and broken glass, whatever came to hand. I don't know what grand scheme you've got underway, Delilah, but I'm coming to put you in your grave.
Turn in my life, witness to powerful figures and the bodies piled around them. Remarkable what Delilah's accomplished, coming from such a background, taking the throne. At least now that we're here, I suppose you know where to go and what to do. You've killed a legion, so what's one more?
One more, or 1,000 more. Delilah deserves what she's about to get.
At my age, I've come to distrust words like deserve. As I've told you, I knew her long ago. Badly wounded, deep at her center, but cunning, and looking for a way to pull herself up. Perhaps more than anything, Delilah had a talent for imagining the world as a better place. If only that could have been channeled towards something less twisted.
Too late for regrets.
Everyone feels some regret, atop a long line. Mine is now chiefly that I'm out of time. Take care of yourself.
Goodbye, Anton.
Megan is waiting for you on the deck outside. She seemed cagey earlier.
Still aboard this creaking thing that Megan calls a boat. Anton Sokolov, once the designer of mighty ships, thrown against the malevolent ocean and large enough to heave the great leviathans aboard, thrashing and spilling their life's blood across the decks. Majestic ships, swift with luxurious cabins, fit for an empress. Where are those vessels now? They're far too important to carry an old man like me. I've been abandoned by my own creations. But maybe that's the way it should be. Haven't I been cruel, selfish? Perhaps I should be forgotten, consigned to the junk heap. Maybe I should die at last. And there's a chance I will on this final escapade. To Dunwall, then. We'll see what's left of me.
Killers. Hey, there you are. I wanted a chance to talk.
Megan, I'm taking the skiff. I want to go to Dunwall Tower alone.
All right. Do you know how you're going to kill Delilah? If you leave her alive, she'll come for you sooner or later.
I'll do whatever it takes to end her and get Emily back.
Just make sure you don't hesitate. Delilah's dangerous.
You don't have to worry about that. She's gone. If old Samuel could see me now.
Take me to the wall tower. Bring me back to the cage of my own chest.
Oh, I will. Delilah will be made mortal again.
You let Emily's mother slip into oblivion. Do you know where my mother's resting? In a child's coffin, her skinny legs tucked beneath her, because I couldn't afford proper burial, while my father rests in the Imperial crypt.
You're lying.
You still can't accept it. You were sent to Dunwall as a gift, like a box of candies, because that's all you were worth. I inhabit your lover's heart, and my body sleeps in your bastard daughter's bed.
If I learned anything in Karnaca, it's that you only deserve to keep your throne if you're ready to roll out a red carpet of blood before it. We'll be face to face soon, and I'll end you, Delilah.
They cursed his name, cursed his name, burned his day. I shall find some fear. Mama will feed me all the night.
Welcome home, Lord Protector. Delilah's been waiting for you with murder in her heart, but also fear. She tore her spirit apart to avoid the sting of death, and now her nightmare is coming for her. And it's you. Moving through Karnaca, you left a trail of corpses at your back. But in Dunwall, Delilah has amassed her own pile of bodies. All hail the victor, assuming there's anyone left to celebrate.
Anyone here?
I saw the High Overseer fall. All is lost. Leave this place.
The Abbey assaulted the tower.
Somehow we were overcome. Not just Delilah's sorcerers and their gravehounds, but mechanical men. Automated soldiers. The ancient music was useless against them.
Rest now. But know that I'm going to end Delilah's reign. I swear it.
At death's door, I smell the corruption of the void upon you. A heretic against a heretic. Laughable. The world is doomed.
Says Delilah's up in the throne room, but a few days ago she was...
I can use the elevator to reach Delilah up in the throne room. To restore power to the elevator, I'll have to reach the security room.
Always excited.
right and proper ways of the aristocracy.
We don't tolerate your kind here in Gunwall Tower. Only the finest among the gentlefolk dine at this banquet table. And sit up straight.
Yes, ma'am.
You two street tramps wouldn't know proper etiquette if it bit you in the ass.
Such vulgar language. I'm shocked.
Yes. If I faint, one of you could be kind and catch me before I bang my head on the polished boards of this well-crafted floor. Anna, what is etiquette really? Another form of control. Just a choke chain around our pretty necks.
No, there's where your ignorance shows. Etiquette is a weapon, a source of power for those who know how to wield it.
No wonder this place is so gloomy with dinner conversation like this. Why don't we change the subject and discuss something more pleasant, like lawn tennis or embroidery?
I need more wine.
Make a note. Remove this playback after the final field test.
Why is there a tree in the middle of the chapel?
It worked. I painted the chapel, but added a tree to the painting. After arranging the runes across the chair, both pure and corrupted, I was able to transpose the chapel made of paint with the one made of stone. With more runes, I should be able to do the same to all the Empire. This will be my greatest undertaking, transposing my painting. The world as it should be, with this wretched dung heap we're all born into. At last, all will be made proper and good.
Delilah's new painting sounds dangerous, but I might be able to sabotage it. With more corrupt runes, maybe I could turn Delilah's painting against her. The elevator to the throne room.
Breeze on the air, sister. Tower machinery. The belly rumble of machines digesting ore.
You will take me back and die at my hands.
done to the throne.
Follow me, dear Corvo, and see how I will reshape all things.
If I change the number of corrupt runes attached to the throne, it should turn Delilah's painting against her. So she'd replace all the world with this.
My people love their empress. You must have some droids down in Sarkonos, but that doesn't impress me.
If I put Delilah on the throne, the painting should trap her in her own fantasy world. You wanted a world of your own, Delilah, so have it. My daughter. Emily.
Father, what happened?
Take it easy. I'll explain everything.
And so the Duke's reign in Sarkonos came to an abrupt end, with the old order burned to the ground. Times were hard, and the people left in the rubble had no choice but to claw and fight for every last scrap. In Dunwall, with the death of Delilah Copperspoon, her coven lost its power and was smashed, their disastrous coup brought to an end. The rightful Empress once again seized her throne, and so it was that Emily the Vengeful rooted out the last of those who had betrayed her and ruled over her empire with her legendary father, Corvo Atano, standing by her side. In his day, Anton Sokolov lit the fires of industry, starting a great consuming blaze at the heart of the Empire. He saw his machines used for war and oppression, watching the powerful crush those beneath them. Leaving Dunwall for the last time, he turned to the cold north, his energy spent at last, only an echo of the man he'd aspired to be. There are things that never change, no matter how hard you try. Questions you must answer. As Megan Foster faded from the world, Billy Lurk stepped from her shadow, setting out to discover her truest self, and seeking the closest thing she'd ever known to family.